All right, so let's get into our favorite show of the week to review is Dynamite because everybody thinks I'm just a hater. So, okay, so they open up with the Moxley and his crew, and he's going, bro. The way they're shooting this Moxley thing, okay, the way they shoot it, right? It's shot very well, but it's the rest of the show doesn't come across as anything like this. It's like they're very serious. They're talking, it's like very cinematic and stuff everything, but you know.
I wonder if Feeney would know this. Is there a different person that is booking this storyline versus the rest of the show, or there's a different producer for this than the rest of the show?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't know what's going
Because
on.
it seems like it's a different, like it's almost like a completely different person writing it. You know what I mean? It seems different than the rest of the show.
Maybe it's Shane. Maybe Shane's involved.
Shane McMahon
No,
Yeah,
he would.
never
or
know.
Shane?
I don't know.
Like,
Shame Man, I guess. Who knows? But no, but I'm just talking about the way it's shot. Because the rest of the show had this kind of like tone of like seriousness to it, then it would be like, but like perfect example. They showed the Moxley comparing AEW to a caterpillar becoming a butterfly and how much sacrifice will take for AEW to reach his potential. He said what he was doing was for the greater good. Everybody worked for me now. Then Tony Schiavone's referred to this group as the Death Riders on Collision. Okay, the Death Riders on Collision.
What?
So that's what Tony Schiavone referred to this group as. Okay.
Yeah, all
So
right.
then they go, this is supposed to be serious. So then they go outside the arena and the top flight, the Dark Order, the conglomeration, Jarrett's crew are all there waiting in the parking lot for these guys. And everybody's overacting too much. They're acting like the guys are like they can like the guys are like 10 feet away or something, but they're not there. They're acting like they're ready to fight. They got their bait. I don't know this, bro. This is like just like the dumbest attempt to try to like be like the and like to treat these guys like the NWO, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Excalibur announced the shows that we actually got some footage of Hangman Page costing Switchblade Jay White the match in the main event last week. So they actually okay, there's no match started on the show yet, and they've actually they had the Moxley promo, and they showed a package explaining everybody what's going on in the Hangman versus Jay White thing, which is an upgrade from what they usually do because now if you haven't been watching the show in a couple weeks, they're kind of like explaining what's going on to start the show, which is a good thing. Okay, you guys got any comment on that? Do you notice that too about this?
They must be listening to your review show,
Well, I
Disco,
mean,
because
well,
they're
this is not
doing
just
what you
me.
want.
No,
They're
but I
doing what
know
you want.
Alvarez brought it up this week, so they're going to listen to Alvarez, even though
Right.
we've been saying this for 3 years. By
it,
the way,
it did, yeah, 637,000,
what was the number last week?
631.
So yeah, right around the same,
Yeesh.
almost exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just, I mean, this is it is what it is. So Tony Schiavone introduces Hangman Page. He asked about Hangman's motivation for attacking Jay White and Bullet Club Gold. And spoke about those attacks and said he beat down Austin Gunn so bad he doesn't think he remembers his brother's name. Colton Gunn jumped Page from behind out of nowhere. There's actually pretty good. This is actually a pretty good fight. Hangman turned the tables and got ready to choke him out with a belt. But they looked. This was a decent brawl. These two guys are actually two of the better guys that look like they know how to fight on the show. So then Jay White and Juice Robinson ran down to the ring to intervene, and Jay White was about to land some shots, but Hangman escaped outside the ring and headed towards the back he was limping. I don't know what he got hurt on too either, because I watched that back and was like, I don't, maybe took a bad step or something. But White told Hangman he could hobble to the back, but he must do so knowing that Jay White has his number, and he mentioned he's faced him in the ring 5 times and won 4 times, and his only loss came from Christian getting in the way. He told Page he hasn't seen the last of him, and then performed his catchphrase before leaving the ring. What did you guys think of this?
My only issue is it's weird that three baby faces versus
They
one
do that all
heel.
the time.
I didn't get that.
They constantly have situations where the heel is outnumbered by the baby face, and like you're supposed to like you're actually looking at the heel go like, wow, this guy must be pretty tough. He's not backing down from these guys. It's just kind of makes him like, it's like he's not scared of them. It's like,
And he was warding them off with a belt, 1-on-3.
yeah.
Like he kept them at bay. I was like, that's like a total babyface move.
Not to mention at the beginning of the show, you got like 15 guys showing out there waiting for 4 guys to show up. Like that's
Yep.
the visual is like the heels are always outnumbered and they're like the sympathetic figures, So-
And they're the better ones. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
It's like everything's backwards on that show. So all right, so Sammy Guevara against Sheldon Benjamin, and I wish, hang on, how much? Okay, this was 10 minutes, right? But this is a cold match. I don't know why they were fighting. Okay, but this is the Sheldon Benjamin showcase match. But he gave Sammy a ton of stuff in this match, And basically, I think this is like the typical AEW thing. It's like they're debuting a guy, and they want him to show he can have a good. They want to have a good match, which is, I guess, the people thought this was a good match. But basically, 10 minutes, Sheldon beat him, and celebrated after the match and said he will face Swerve Strickland next week. So they're already. I mean, they showed up. He had a squash, then a match against Sammy. And now he's wrestling Swerve. So I don't know.
I'm actually shocked at Shelton Benjamin. He's 50 years old. He doesn't look it at all.
Is he really?
Yeah. He doesn't look 50 years old at all.
Wow, he does not. I thought he was like 40.
No,
at least like mid or late.
No, literally, he just turned 49. So he's 49. Yeah. So
holy cow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What a machine that guy is.
Yeah, he looks great. Yeah. And MVP's 52, but I mean, he kind of shows his age a little bit more. Benjamin, I wouldn't have been able to tell that he's 50 at all.
Yeah. So next was actually, I like this segment. Mariah May was shown walk out of the locker room, and Renee Paquette asked her why she was leaving. She had a briefcase in her hand, but she said it wasn't hers. She tossed it down the hallway, and the clothes spilled out everywhere. And May said Anna Jay doesn't belong in the same ring with her, and so that was Anna Jay's. She threw her in the locker room. Yeah. So Jay approached her from behind. They tussled until they were separated. But like these people, I would just if I was booking the girls, I would say look for a shoot. Grab each other by the hair for a shoot and go to the ground and just try and pull each other's hair, because that would look real. Because when these girls try to strike each other and the dumbest thing too is like when these girls hit the ring for like run-ins or like there's brawls, everybody's throwing the forearms. Like you're going to get disqualified.
Yes.
like go for a double leg or something.
And so seriously,
I just didn't like one guy. I know Christopher Daniels, but one guy broke it up. If she really wanted to get at him, only one guy could stop her.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they should have like I said,
kind of, but I get what you mean.
This was so lame. If you want to show heat, like I said, both grab each other's hair, go and have a bunch of people trying to separate them. So I don't know.
And I feel like Anna Jay, maybe she should be a heel. I know they're kind of going back and forth with her. She's a face now, but I feel like she should be a heel.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like she's a baby face now. I remember
all of a sudden, yeah.
Yeah, is it just because she came back from Japan or what? I really think.
Yeah, I guess she was in Stardom. Now she's a babyface. Yeah, the fans are going to love it.
All right, so they recap the Kyle Fletcher stuff. Once again, they're recapping video packages.
Yes, I like that. That was very good. And they showed the history of them because I was trying to remember. I was like, oh, that's right. They did team together for years and years.
I saw people saying that they didn't like that they were showing too many video packages.
Right. So, which is funny because Alvarez brought it up this week. So now they're doing it because Alvarez said it. So
yes, they're listening.
Not that we said it for 3 years.
Right.
So his storyline with Osprey was basically that they looked, wrestled, and sounded alike, and he was supposed to be the next big thing until Osprey showed up. He brought up Kenny Omega and Okada. He said Okada brought him into New Japan. He stabbed him in the back, talking about Osprey. And Fletcher said Omega left New Japan. Osprey was supposed to be the guy to step in his place, but he wasn't ready. He said Osprey now refused to get out of the way because he was too selfish to let others succeed. And Fletcher challenged Osprey to a match next week and told him to ignore the doctors and his family and come back to face him. He was talking about they beat him up last week and he was in the hospital. Like Osprey's supposed to be in the hospital. Man. I would have kind of actual promo of had a clip of Osprey in the hospital because nobody actually believed that Osprey was in the hospital. He said he would defeat him with the Tiger Driver after Tiger Driver until his brittle neck crumbled to dust, and when he was done, there would be only one star left, and it's Kyle Fletcher. Then Callis handed Fletcher a hair clipper, said he wanted to be nothing like Osprey, and the guy shaved his head on TV.
That'll show him.
I did not think that was necessary.
I like Kyle Fletcher. He's kind of like a flamboyant look to him.
He's not
I just thought this was a really monotonous promo, too long, and then I thought his hair was kind of cool because it looks so silly. I mean, you can have silly hair in wrestling. He shaved his head. Now it's over. It's gone.
Let me just tell you, okay, a complete massive from a booking perspective. And if you want these guys to have a good feud, all right, the gimmick should have been, all right, Osprey, okay, he says that we look alike, whatever. Okay. So they do a gimmick where now Osprey comes to TV next week. They beat him down. They pull the hair clippers out. We're going to shave your head because we don't want you to look anything like Kyle Fletcher. Osprey fights back, grabs the clippers, and shaves Kyle Fletcher's head.
Bingo.
Now, like nobody thought of that? If you're going to shave the guy's head, the guy shaved his own head. I mean, like, come on, man! You would have gotten so much more mileage out of doing it that other way.
Wrestling is supposed to be like a humiliation thing,
right?
You could have done something to like where he does for weeks, where he's saying that yeah, we look alike, but I'm the better looking version. And like, whatever. And then like a couple weeks, Osprey comes, costs him a title match or something, and like shaves his head or something. You get me? Like, just build it up for a little bit.
Bro, I mean,
because if he wanted to cut his hair, they could have gone about it that way.
Have Osprey cut the guy.
Yeah,
under every circumstance, Osprey should have shaved his head.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay, to build up more heat in the feud. Okay, instead of the guy shaving his own head, it's like, where's the heat now?
Do you remember like 20 years ago when Nash was in WWF, he was going to film the Punisher movie and he was going to be the Russian. Yeah. So he said to Vince, he's like, let's do something because I need to get a haircut. So they had Jericho shave his head on TV and they had like a little bit of a feud. So I was like, wow, that was great by Nash. Like, hey, I got to get a haircut. Why don't we do it on TV and get some mileage out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah, come on.
Loser.
Yeah, kind of made no sense. Yep.
So they showed Takeshi more footage of Takeshi's successful defenders international title against Josh. Actually, but they showed the footage from the indie. Credit to D'Amore's group, the Maple Leaf Wrestling. I'm a friend of. I hope they succeed. But bro, you don't need to put that stuff on this show. You know that it looks like it looks like a minor league organization they were at because it was way less people in the crowd. So, but it wasn't that many less people in the crowd. Is Joe there? Can somebody look up the?
He said, "I'll be right back."
Pause. Can you look this up? The attendance of the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show. Like how many people were there?
Okay.
So backstage. Ricochet was interviewed. This is exactly the way he should be. His character's be. He's talking cocky and confident, and he's dressed like $1 million. Right? He looks like a star. Right? He recalled Takeshi screwed him out of the title twice and told him to show up and face him on Collision. And MVP walked up and handed Ricochet a business card and complimented him on his suit. Go figure. So the two WWE guys are on the show. They're the two best dressed guys on the show. They're coming.
Yeah, true.
Right? So then now Cage and Lance Archer come out for their match against two bums, and the guy that's doing this is the jobber team looked like a combination of the Highlanders and the Ascension, and they beat them in 45 seconds. Okay, that was it. Squash match, 45 seconds with Don Callis out there. So Chucky, they're building up Don. This show is designed to build up the Don Callis faction, by the way. So Chucky, this was lame. I'm sorry. Chucky T spoke with Orange Cassidy outside the building. Chucky said that he's known Orange for 20 years. He doesn't know if these guys could beat Moxley. None of them ever have. But Orange has. It was time for him to step up. What'd you guys think of that?
That was so bad. Chuck Taylor he's so bad, and Orange Cassidy trying to be like the serious game. I like almost just like laughed. I'm like, that was so poorly done. That was terrible.
Jericho, being the ultimate company man, has decided because he's getting paid a fortune. If Tony wants him to get over the Ring of Honor title, he'll get over the Ring of Honor title because he wrestled Mark Briscoe in a ladder match. Big Bill ran down and grabbed Briscoe and chokeslammed him off the ladder on the two tables at ringside, and then placed Jericho on his back, and he climbed the ladder to win the title. So Jericho is the new Ring of Honor champion. Would you ever thought that when AEW started 5 years ago, and Jericho was one of the first signings, that it would end up with Jericho winning the Ring of Honor title 5 years later?
Never in a million years. He's the Nueve now. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh my God! I missed this. I did not see this part. Okay. After the match, Ishii appeared on the stage. Appeared to be like looking at Jericho against him. I guess he's revenge or something. They got heat with each other. Ishii.
Well, the conglomeration feuding with Jericho.
Ishii has never spoken a word on that show. Not in Japanese. I don't know what the guy sounds like. And they treat this guy like he's a big star.
I'm not gonna lie. That kind of ruined the moment for me because I was seeing that match, and then once I saw like his music, I was like, "What the hell?"
Dude. I've seen this guy's work, right, bro? Meltzer and these guys talk about like this guy's like work is like next level.
He used to be really good. He wasn't very good.
But he wasn't like.
Yeah, I get you.
Like this generational talent. I mean, I'm like,
hey, let's check this out. Look, you've got to watch this.
I'm like, come on, right?
Yeah.
So this was actually funny. Cole comes out for promo. Oh, and also, get a load of this. Another video package aired that showcased Chris Statlander and Camille preparing for their match. All right. Actually, that wasn't. Well, that one. I mean, but the announcers could talk about them, right? So Adam Cole comes out for story time for Adam Cole, but he's immediately interrupted by the old Adam by Roderick Strong. So Taven and Mike Bennett come out with him. Strong called MJF an egomaniac and a loser and a user and claimed he used the Adam Cole brand to get the fans to care about him. He then said MJF never checked on Cole when he was hurt, but they did. And then Bennett piped up and said their friendship was bigger than MJF and they need to finish what they started together. And Taven said the best times of his career were when they were together, and Strong then complimented Cole on his hard work to come back from his ankle injury and said they needed to take Max out together. He then said he wanted Max first, and Cole said Roddy was absolutely right and maybe they should do it tonight. And they invited MJF to the ring to get and on cue, this kind of, MJF appeared on the screen getting a massage. It looked like a mansion. And he mocked Cole and said he told me he'd never get his hands on him. And MJF laid out a challenge and said the first one of them, Cole or Strong, that gets 3 consecutive wins will earn it. They're doing this again. We'll get a title shot at MJF in Full Gear, and then mocked himself for making people jump through hoops for a match with him again. And then Max said he wouldn't be showing up until Full Gear, so they couldn't get their hands on him. So this is the third segment on the show where it is a heel outnumbered by baby faces.
Yes, again. Yep.
And they wonder why there's.
Let me just say, I think maybe MJF is going to show up before Full Gear or Metal Gear or whatever it's called to beat up somebody. But if I'm Tony Khan, I'm telling MJF, Osprey, like, look, I'm paying a lot of money for you guys. We're trying to fill arenas. You guys need to be there every week.
Yeah,
right.
To me, it's disappointing. Like that, those guys. I went to a Dynamite about 1.5 years ago. No MJF, no Young Bucks, the big stars weren't there. That's the problem with this show, I think, is the stars aren't on it. They have all this hype and they either do nothing or they're treated as just another wrestler or they just straight up aren't there. Like maybe that's why MJF signed with AEW is because WWE would make him be there actually every single week.
Or maybe literally in Tony's mind that Jack Perry, Daniel Garcia, and Orange Cassidy are the big stars.
That's another thing.
That's not good.
Look at the old but if you look at the old WCW days, like maybe Nash wasn't on the show or somebody like that, but you still had like Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, guys like that, and maybe in Tony's mind, that's what, to your point, that's what like Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta are.
Right.
Like, these are big stars.
Yeah, because they had their 5-year anniversary show like 2 weeks ago, and then that's like a good way to bring up some of your talent. Like Omega could have made an appearance. He wouldn't have to get physical or anything if he can't. But yeah, it's very disappointing that they don't use everyone on a weekly basis like that.
Right. So next was they had a video package about Penelope Ford. Okay, this supposedly is the storyline. A video package aired from Penelope Ford talking about her personal issues with Jamie Hayter. She complained about Hayter being handed everything while she was at home injured for 2 years. Then Hayter was interviewed and she responded that she'd worked for everything she had, including working in front of 20 drunk men for 20 quid. And Hayter challenged Ford to a match 2 weeks from now on Dynamite. The funny thing, Dave Meltzer says AEW has too many storylines. I don't think, you know why? Because he actually considers that a storyline. Yeah.
What do you think about like them always leaning into that? Like, I used to be broke.
Yeah. I mean, because they're all indie wrestlers.
I know, but no one ever comes out there like, I don't care. Like, I'm rich now. Like, this is.
Sammy Gavar said the same thing. He said the same thing in his promo. Yeah. He's like, I used to be poor. Yeah,
bro. When you take these indie wrestlers and you elevate to the same stage, but it's just basically indie wrestling elevated on a main stage. And they act like indie wrestlers. It's ridiculous.
By the way, I looked up Maple Leaf Pro. I couldn't find an exact attendance for the show, but it looked like between 400 and 500 people, which was, I guess, a sellout both nights. It didn't look like it was crazy packed, but it was in a small venue in a college in Windsor, Ontario. So I don't think it was for
TV taping. Good spot, like center stage theater kind of.
Exactly, like maybe 500 people or so. It wasn't like a huge arena or anything like that. Yeah.
All right. So for some inexplicable reason. I keep saying this is like this is booking. The House of Black, we have 4 matches on the show. There's second jobber match. House of Black against 3 jobbers.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two matches on the show where you got guys wrestling jobbers.
See, and I didn't see the previous match, so I thought that other match had happened like on Collision or something. So the fact that they had 2 is just ridiculous. So
basically, House of Black wins in 2 minutes. Buddy Murphy grabs the mic and challenges Adam Cole out of nowhere to a match next week. Okay. Well, now I would have said this. I was like, well, what on earth is that? However, we'll go to the show and be kind of So this is Camille wrestles. So next is Camille against. So they go back. They go to commercial. They come out of commercial, and Cole is back there with all those guys. The Undisputed Era, whatever these guys are. What are they called?
Undisputed Kingdom.
So they're in the back in the garage, the parking garage. And they're asking, what's up with Tim challenging you? He goes, let me go find out right now. And he goes across, walks across, and goes up to Buddy Murphy. It's like, what's the problem here, dude? He gets right in his face and says he wanted to prove he goes, I want to prove something. He's like, what? He's like, that you're fragile. And he walked off. And I'm like, at least that, okay, I like that exchange because it explained a little bit of why he called him out. Right?
I just laughed because the crowd reacted the same way I did. I was just like, what the?
Well, he did, but this explained they did this backstage, you know?
Kind of, I guess.
Like honestly, this was shot pretty well. I like the way they did this, but honestly, if he was calling him out, why didn't Cole come out there like right when he called him out and ask what the deal was? They could have had an in-ring, you know? It would have made it seem like a bigger deal.
What do you think about?
Too. Go ahead, pause.
I was going to say, what do you think about Adam Cole coming back in that sort of shape? Like, I know he's saying that people are body shaming him, but he's been out for a year and he looks like that. Are you kidding?
He should be body shamed. That's brutal.
Like, man, I just can't believe how, like, he came back from a year off and that's what he looks like. It's like, oh my, what's he been doing the whole time?
So we do Queen Amada versus Camille, and this was a microcosm of female wrestling today. Okay, is where you're getting way ahead of your skis. You're trying to do cool moves, but there's just an awkwardness to them and clumsiness to the cool moves, and they don't look cool at all. They look like you're botching, and they had a lot of that in this match with these two. A lot of spots that took a long time to develop, where the girls, this was not good, and because it was 8 minutes.
I had a question for you. I was watching this match, and Camille was the big star in NWA. A lot of people are like, targeted her as the next big star. Have you watched her with a professional eye as far as how is she? Is she green? Is she? Because I think she's really hot. She looks great. I thought she should have just whipped right through this girl, and it took forever to beat her.
Well, not even that. It's like this girl's like this Queen Amada. I don't even know who this girl's like I mean, maybe she thinks she's a big star in the show, but bro, she's no-selling Camille's offense.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, what on earth are you? This was just whoever the agent did this, this was an epic fail by the agent. The layout of this match was atrocious. It's nothing for they're trying to promote next week she's going to fight Chris Statlander. We're going to find out who the best big strong girl on the show is. And then it took her forever to beat this little skinny girl. Bro, this girl's not. I mean, Camille should be bumping this chick around like crazy.
Exactly.
She's a big they got this girl's no selling her. Like she's tough. Get the out of here.
And when Sasha Banks jumped in, it looked really bad.
So after the match,
and then I think she got a 1 count, and the announcers are like, "Ooh, did you guys see Queen Amada kick
Isn't she supposed to be the heater though? Isn't she supposed to be like the bodyguard? Shouldn't she just demolish people?
Yes, not have 8-minute matches against a girl that's going to no selling your giant bodyguard's offense.
And then Amada
got the same spot Raquel Rodriguez had.
Amada fought Monet already too. So why would you go from fighting the champion to everything's weird?
So after the match, Statlander walks out to confront Camille Monet, and Mercedes tried to keep them apart. The Statlander glared at her. The Mercedes tried to ambush Statlander, but she didn't flinch and knocked her down. The Statlander and Camille brawled, but Mercedes grabbed Statlander's leg and forced her to turn around. Then Camille ambushed Statlander, stood over with Mercedes, and taunted her. So, but Statlander actually brought the heat out there because her looks real when she's fighting.
That's another weird one though. She's a baby face now.
Yeah, I thought she was a heel.
Right. Didn't she just screw over him?
Who knows?
You got to watch all their shows to understand what's going on. So
I didn't see Rampage. Probably missing.
Yeah, but she was literally just a heel 2 weeks ago. It's Stokely.
Not even that long ago.
Yeah.
So outside the building, a truck pulled up with Christian, Nick Wayne, and Shayna Wayne, and Kip Sabian was shown sneaking around in between cars, and so they ran after him, which was silly. So then they followed Sabian in the ring. We tried to get Christian to back down, and then Hook was shown on the screen and said he knew who attacked his father, and it was those scumbags in the ring. And Hook how many weeks has he been trying to figure out who attacked his father?
A few weeks. And Christian basically said it was him, and he I don't know, he didn't believe him or something. It was it's so bad.
So So Hook quickly tossed aside Nick Wayne, but got low blow by Kip Sabian before he could get a hold of Christian. And Christian said he knew what Sabian was trying to do and he would deal with him, but told him to back up into the corner and mind his business. Then Nick Wayne landed on Wayne's World and Christian delivered a kill switch on the steel contract clipboard, and Sabian left with them while Hook got laid out. So yeah, that was.
I think it's time to give up the Kip Sabian experiment.
I mean, bro, you got all these guys like you get Christian, MJF, Adam Cole, some of these guys just should not be in angles with these smaller green guys.
Right.
Like Christian right now has a thing for a contract for the title. That should be the focal point of his storyline. Instead, he's sidetracked by Kip Sabian, this storyline and Hook now. It's like, I don't want to see that. Like, like I said, they have guys that are talented veterans on the show that can do good weekly television. And you're putting them with guys that, like, if I rank, like, okay, who would I want to see Christian up against in an angle weekly episodic television wish, and I'd rank them in, like, this order. These guys would be, like, the 25th and 26th guys ranked guys that I'd like to see them in an angle with. Like, it's like, I don't want to, and I think a lot of people don't want to see that either,
Does he have their version of, like, Money in the Bank? Like, you could use it anytime you want, or...
Yep.
Are we supposed to forget about it and then he's going to spring it on him at some point? Or he should be in there with Swerve and Hangman, those guys.
Right. Okay, so next was, for some inexplicable reason, Daniel Garcia and Private Party in the main event.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, against the Elite and Jack Perry.
Main event, Daniel Garcia.
And this was green performers left and right in there with the Young Bucks who were just participating in all these indie spots. Because I think that is Joe. Where's Joe at? I want to see if we have the minute by the quarter hours. Do you have that chart?
I don't. He said he had to take a call. He'll be back.
Ugh.
If you saw clips from this match and you told me what year, like if this happened 3 years ago, like people wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. It looks the same as it always does.
So they rolled. So the Private Party actually gets the win because Daniel Garcia showed up and pulled up Perry from the ape. Well, actually, hang on a minute. So how was this finishing sequence here? So the Bucks set up for the TKI driver. Okay, the Bucks landed a double stomp into a sit-out power bomb, and then Garcia appeared from nowhere and pulled Perry from the apron, and then booted Perry over the barricade into the crowd. Then the Bucks set up for a TK driver, but Private Party reversed it into their finish, and they got a surprise victory. So after the match, the Private Party said that the Young Bucks numbered and demand a rematch for the tag titles. As they made the offer to the Bucks, if they lose the match with the Bucks, they split up. The Bucks accepted, and Quen looked like he wasn't thrilled with that idea. And outside the building, a car pulled up, and Marina Shafir got out. In the arena, Claudio and Wheeler appeared and assaulted Private Party and Daniel Garcia with chairs, and Moxley appeared, dragging Chuck Taylor to the ring. And they wrapped a chair around the neck of Chuck Taylor. Like Claudio stomped on it. Before the AEW crew was able to get back into the building to intervene, and the camera focused on Orange Cassidy looking at Chuck Taylor's motionless body while AEW medical attended to this. Bro, they try to do these heat spots, and I end up laughing.
Yes.
Because it's you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't get the right reaction at all. It's like it's like these are not serious characters that it's like you really think that that's heat? Like beating up Private Party, Daniel Garcia, and Chuck Taylor? Like nobody gives about any of these people.
Maybe within the first 4 months of the company's existence or something, but
that'd be like the NWO taking out Jumpin' Joey Maggs and like hours or something. It just doesn't make sense.
That doesn't. You can't possibly think that those guys are like the focus of this Blackpool Combat Club, who's caused like they're focused on Private Party and Daniel Garcia and
start to cheer it. Yeah, start to like want to see it.
And call me crazy too. Private Party just beat the Young Bucks, right? So why would they say, "Oh, we'll put our tag team on the line"? You literally just beat the guys. You should be number one contenders. You just pinned them. Why did they put your? That made no sense. That was backwards.
That's when Danielson put his career on the line too. Like he didn't have to.
Totally backwards.
So the AEW, my conclusion of the show is that they did some of the things that they need to do to improve their numbers in. Educating the fans to what's happening on the show with video packages and stuff, like filling in the storylines. But the storylines are atrocious still. Like you're looking at these, like why would you, like they said, nobody cares about Private Party and Daniel Garcia. It's like they're the main event angle at the end of the show. It's like I don't give a rat's ass. Nobody does. So they did like 630,000 this week and 630,000 last week, and they'll probably just do 630,000 next week, and who knows? So. But that's been our television reviews with our roundtable. Thank you, everybody, for being on. John Paz, Randy Vasquez, and Carlos Hernandez. Looking to have you guys back on shortly for another future roundtable, but enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
Disco, you want to hear a crazy story from my buddy who lives down south?
Yeah.
So he's at a store. He's wearing like an old school WCW shirt. He has to get something for work. Some random guy walks up to him and he goes, "What do you know about WCW?" He goes, "Oh, he's like, I'm a wrestler now, but he goes, I'm working. I'm just wearing the shirt." He goes, "I'm an old school WCW fan." So the guy goes, "Oh," he goes, "I used to work there." And my buddy looks at him. He goes, "I don't know. You don't look that familiar." Guess who it was? You'll never guess.
Who?
Former executive vice president Nick Lambros.
Oh God!
How crazy is that? He's
That's pretty funny, right? Yeah.
He goes, "Oh my God, I know that name." He goes, "Aren't you like the vice president?" He goes, "Yes, I was the executive vice president." I was like, "Oh, all people to run into, and you're wearing a WCW shirt." I was like, "Random."
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. I gotta tell Joe we gotta.
I just texted him. He didn't respond.
Okay.
All right, Disco. Good chat.
All right. Thanks, guys. Peace.
All right. Bye, Disco.
Okay.
Cool.
Where the hell's Joe Feeney?
I don't know. I was just tell him to use the tape of our outros.
Hey, Dr. Tom, by the way, put you over.
What do you say?
So somebody said to him, we were talking, and they said, "Hey, do you like on the show? Hey, do you like Disco Inferno? Do you like his theme song?" Like, I guess trying to get him to say something. He goes, "Actually, he was charismatic, a good worker, and a good heel." He goes, "Yeah, so I do like Disco Inferno." Like, what do you think about his theme song? He's like, "I don't remember it." So they were trying to get him going, I think, and he wouldn't rip you. So he was, he was cool.
Nice. All right, thanks for coming on, Paz.
Yep, I'll see you later, man.
Peace, brother.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.